SMSA-PAX is one of my favorite amplifier of 2025 using Infineon GaN chip inside. Class D design. This PA400 uses very same chip, same architecture, but not exactly the same. Hello everyone, welcome to Tabama Hi-Fi Review channel. Today I would like to share my experience of using SMSA Audio PA400 Cool GaN Class D from Infineon. PA400 can put out 250 watts to 4 ohm load in stereo mode, 500 watts at mono setup. So this one can enable mono stereo mode as well as gain control, as you can use as a normal amplifier using that Texas Instrument volume controller chip inside. Transparent sounding without much of coloration, good noise control with channel separation. I review SMSA PAX. PAX retail for $699. This PA400 retail for $555. These amp can be used as a mono or stereo or just amplifier. One XLR input and one RCA input. When I'm using this PA400 in my streaming setup, pairing with Eversolo Z10, PA400 as a dedicated power amp, what I notice is how much revealing sound it can be using that CSS2 TDX towers that I built. When I'm listening to that combination, totally changing the sound signature of two TDX towers with revealing very detailed sound with that combination. When I moved it here in my main system, pairing with Accuphase E4000 pre-stage using balanced XLR cables, Galubito Divinity R2 or NOS deck with Eversolo T8 streaming transfer internet drive they're using to play music and listening in this setup. So what I find is sound is exactly the same, but when I pay a lot of attention, when I keep listening with a lot of my reference usual tracks, I've been noticing there are slight differences, right? So I was scratching my head. This is not exactly the same as PAX that I had. So I was like, okay, let's try that configuration. The cables, I reconnect all of them. I tried it again. So I noticed where the differences are, the minor differences are, right, using this S1EX towers. When I went back to the original combination and cables and everything, then I still noticed that slight differences, about 3 to 5% difference in sound of upper range of frequencies, especially refinements in those areas are noticeable. So I opened this PA400 and I found where the differences are. The power rail or the power supply rail inside this PA400 is compared to PAX slightly lesser quality. So that's where they put a little bit better quality power supply. So that's where the major differences are. Power supply is main different maker between PAX and this PA400 in overall sound quality of upper range of frequency. That is my finding using this PA400 in my system. Sound quality, tone and balance, everything is as good as PAX can offer. PAX is exclusive amplifier to Shenzhen Audio. So they improve a little bit to give you a little bit more refined sound quality and overall sound reproduction. It's not going to be night and day different in sound. So you can go with either or. You may not notice major difference in sound. As far as the power delivery, sound quality, neutral tone with transparent sound signature that it can deliver. 250 watts at 4 ohm load for $555 for stereo amp is hard to beat. Doesn't matter what kind of amp you try. GaN or regular Class D or anything that you choose in build quality, reliability, and sound quality. right? This BA400 is great option. I've been getting a lot of feedbacks from my viewers that they are very happy using these GAN amps in their panel speaker setups and using them as a mono amps. I just tell them don't push them too hard because operation temperature can kick in. When it rises, safety mode can kick in for, just for the safety of the speaker and the equipment itself. Other than that, no problem giving them up to like 90, 100 dB range of sound pressure level in their listening spaces. As far as the power delivery goes, I have no complaint at all. For the sound quality, you just need to be careful with what type of deck that you are going to pair with. When I try with Eversolo Z10, it's incredibly revealing sound, right? Some people really love those kind of sounds, so that's depending on the personal preferences. In my case, when I try with this Galubido Divinity R2 NOS deck, the sound quality and neutrality of this BA400 balanced out, and it has good forgiving sound with great resolution that it can offer. Is pretty impressive for the money. When I tried this BA400 in combination with SMS D200 with G1 master clock and 100 as a music streamer, in that setup it's totally clicked the synergy, balanced neutral sound with resolution and refinements, and everything that it can deliver is very impressive and really enjoyable sound as well. So this BA400 is totally neutral sound with revealing ability of system weakness or sound signature of pairing components. If you find this BA400 bright or thin or shallow, doesn't matter how you find it, that is more to do with your room pairing components and rest of the system depend on that sound quality as well. So this one will totally reveal whatever the sound signature and weakness that system may have. So this BA400 or BAX is going to be totally revealing sound. That is the one thing that I would like to remind you, because sound quality is not solely rely on amplification alone. I try many different amps in different price points. This BA400 totally stands out in under $1,000 price range in price, sound quality, and power delivery. Totally clean power delivery with quiet background, stereo image, precision notes, and everything is only comes down to pairing components. That is the reason this BA400 is going to be my best buy amplifier of 2025. $555 for this stereo amp, or whether you're going to use a mono setup, is totally worth it. Totally wholeheartedly recommended, my friend. Thank you for watching. Happy listening.
Come into my solitude, though I weary be. Come into my tenderness, dream along with me. Listen to the whispers sing, listen to the singer shout. Come into my solitude, meet my big mouth. Thoughts unspoken, thoughts unsaid, lies of hearth and home. Children broken on the bed and left to lie alone. Things you talk around, scum you choke on down. Come into my solitude, step on sacred ground. We were speaking of values and violence, breaking silence. Fathers who are lovers was the only one. Thought it was the only one. Thought it was the only one. You were speaking of values and violence, breaking silence. Come to my solitude, welcome to the wheel. Come into this wonderland of wounds that will not heal. Walls that do not speak, steps that do not say.